Who is the best football player in the world? The question will always be asked, the answer will never be unanimous. Heralding the finest player on the planet is a near impossible task given the spread of options in terrific form and those improving all the time. Erling Haaland made a mockery of Premier League defences during his maiden voyage last term. Kylian Mbappe remains an outrageously talented megastar, while Lionel Messi is in the process of lighting up an entirely new continent at the age of 36. We've based our list on a variety of factors. We have taken short-term form into account, but particularly strong or weak 2022-23 seasons are not the ultimate deal-breaker in many cases, so that players with a long history of incredible performances aren't shunted down at the first sign of decline. Trophies, strength of leagues, raw stats, unquantifiable magic and a host of other aspects have come together to form our criteria for the list, and we know you're going to wholeheartedly disagree with us. To whet your appetite even further, to demonstrate the sheer strength of the top 10, Manchester United's creative behemoth Bruno Fernandes, Liverpool superstar Mohamed Salah and hotshots Pedri and Gavi have both missed the cut, as well as defensive titans David Alaba and Virgil van Dijk. 10. Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid. Some might say it's a season too soon to include him on this list of behemoths, but Bellingham has already shown enough to convince the world of his obscene talent at Dortmund and on the international stage. Bellingham's all-action, dynamic presence saw him transform from teenage wildcard to instant starter for England at the World Cup 2022, and his displays for Dortmund put them firmly in title contention against the Bayern Munich juggernaut, spurned only by goal difference. He is the complete package in midfield already. Physically imposing, an immense ball carrier, with precision passing skills, Bellingham will soar in 2023-24, buoyed by enough confidence to claim Zinedine Zidane's number 5 shirt at the Bernaudrachtbue. 9. Luka Modric, Real Madrid, ageless, timeless, majestic. Modric will never get old nor will he retire, we simply refuse to believe it. We are 20 years on from Modric's professional debut with Zrinjski Mostar in the Bosnian Premier League, more than 800 games into his career, and there are still few players you'd trust more to pull the strings in midfield. Modric is silk personified. He never looks troubled or overexerted, he is butter smooth. A deft touch, a little drop of the shoulder to purchase space, an unstoppable artful pass designed to slit through the lines. We've all seen it. The opponents he is facing have all seen it before too, but nobody can do anything about it. The 37-year-old should be in decline, he should be losing his legs and unpredictability should be creeping in, but Madrid's management of his minutes has been sublime. He will be fit and fresh for those enormous Champions League nights. And he'll just keep running the show until his curtain call. 8. Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid. We promise this isn't just a Real Madrid 11. But it's an ominous sign for the rest of the football world that while the capital snake has shed some of its aging skin in recent transfer windows, an equally venomous threat is slithering into the open, a team led by Vinny Jr. The 23-year-old has already racked up more than 200 appearances for the club in all competitions since 2018, and he is one of the few contenders who could, without a hint of delusion, claim to be sitting top of this list in several years' time. Vinicius's pace is scorching, with dynamite acceleration able to propel himself from standing starts beyond petrified defenders at will. Most impressively, he harnesses that speed with quickness of feet and ball control to match any player in the world. 7. Robert Lewandowski, Barcelona, goals, goals, goals. In a decade of false nines, inside forwards, inverted thingamajigs, Lewandowski has relentlessly flown the flag for natural out-and-out strikers. In many ways, Lewandowski is a no-nonsense entity. He knows where the ball will flow, he knows the positions to be in and when to be there, he knows all the measurements of the goal frame and will use every inch of it to ripple the net. If the ball falls to one player in a one-on-one situation in world football, Lewandowski is both the most likely player to be in that position and the man you'd want to be there. Lewandowski is very able when it comes to building attacks and creating chances, but his movement and awareness as the target for others to find means he is at his most ruthless, hovering around at the very top end of the pitch. 6. Karim Benzema, Al Ittihad. It would be tempting to say Karim Benzema enjoyed the ultimate Indian summer in 2022-23, but in reality, he simply did what he has always done. Lead the line, score goals, win trophies, repeat. Everything Real Madrid have achieved in the last 14 years has been achieved under Benzema's watch. He has not always been treated with respect. Real Madrid have tried to replace him with plenty of strikers over the last decade, but nobody has been able to fill the number 9 role quite like him. Benzema gets through a remarkable amount of dirty work in 90 minutes. He digs deep and acts as a wide, inside forward's dream, the ultimate pivot point to build attacks around. Benzema is happy playing with his back to goal, and that often proves just as dangerous to opponents as bearing down on them directly. Play a 1, make a darting run and you'll always receive the 2. 5. Erling Haaland, Man City. Haaland has normalized the abnormal. Arguably, the Norse Titans' only flaw in 2022-23 was setting the bar insurmountably high from the very start. Between the start of the season and the end of 2022, Haaland found the net 22 times in just 15 Premier League games. For context, that total would have won the Golden Boot in 7 Premier League seasons. He cooled off slightly after Christmas, but still played at an extraordinary level. His physicality is unrivaled, his finishing ability, including improvised, instinctive finishing by any means necessary, is staggering, and he boasts a turn of pace that few in the Premier League could match. The best bit? We're mostly likely yet to see Haaland at his absolute peak. The next few years should be explosive, and if he proves his consistency over several years, he will sit number 1 in this list without a doubt. 4. Harry Kane. The relative mystique of foreign leagues can often inflate a player's reputation, as we are fed their many highlights and rarely see their 4/10s. The days they'd rather not remember, their misses and their failures. The Premier League, in all its hyper-exposed, tribal glory, is often not a place where rival fans can appreciate world-class talent when they see it. It feels like in 2023, we finally hit that peak with Kane. Kane's season-end tallies remain consistent around the 30-goal mark, with a bundle of assists and uncountable contributions setting him above almost every other striker in the world. 3. Kevin De Bruyne, Man City. Kevin De Bruyne appeared to have a relatively lukewarm season in 2022-23, but still created 22 goals and scored 9 in 42 matches across the Premier League and Champions League combined. Injury issues have seen the Belgian fail to dominate our screens as often as he has done in the past, but like Haaland, he has made extraordinary achievements seem, well, ordinary. KDB could be the greatest crosser of a ball in Premier League history, while his vision and penchant for a defense-splitting pass combine with frightening effectiveness on a number of occasions. One of the best aspects of De Bruyne is that he comes with all the trimmings. He's a lethal set-piece taker, he is unexpectedly physical and genuinely quick off the mark. Without these things, KDB would remain a top player, but with them at his disposal, he is a multi-layered box of tricks. 2. Kylian Mbappe, PSG. Mbappe is a megastar forged by the crucible of the World Cup. It's an old-school way to achieve greatness given the prominence of the Champions League and Premier League, but Mbappe's international heroics prove his ability and mentality beyond all reasonable doubt. Like Neymar, like many before, he has made a mockery of League One, but his form on the global stage for both club and country puts him out in front. His World Cup final hat-trick will go down as the stuff of legends, a big-time performance from a big-time player. Mbappe is often portrayed as a dramatic soap character in the ever-brewing psychodrama between PSG and Real Madrid, a large portion of his mind fixed on off-field politics, but the character he showed throughout the World Cup, his mentality and steely determination to drag his team kicking and screaming to the trophy, has elevated him up another notch on the ladder. 1. Lionel Messi, Inter Miami. For the first time in over a decade, we sincerely had to ponder our number 1 selection, but in the spirit of VAR, we found no clear and obvious reason to rule out Messi from the summit. There's no denying Messi has evolved. He has lost a fraction of his blistering pace, but his intelligence and manipulation of the football means his control over the result of games remains as strong as ever. He is not an all-action terrier, he won't pitch in with too much dirty work, but to count that against him is to miss the point entirely. Messi continues to dominate games, both subtly and explicitly, for club and country. His performances directly inspired Argentina to Copa America and World Cup trophies, and has transformed rock-bottom MLS team, Inter Miami, into cup finalists in the space of a month. 1. Lionel Messi, Inter Miami. For the first time in over a decade, we sincerely had to ponder our number one selection, but in the spirit of VAR, we found no clear and obvious reason to rule out Messi from the summit. There's no denying Messi has evolved. He has lost a fraction of his blistering pace, but his intelligence and manipulation of the football means his control over the result of games remains as strong as ever. He is not an all-action terrier, he won't pitch in with too much dirty work, but to count that against him is to miss the point entirely. Messi continues to dominate games, both subtly and explicitly, for club and country. His performances directly inspired Argentina to Copa America and World Cup trophies, and has transformed rock-bottom MLS team, Inter Miami, into cup finalists in the space of a month. Who is the best football player in the world? Lionel Messi remains the undisputed king of the football world, though it would be foolish not to raise an eyebrow as he grows older. As an individual talent and based on almost 2 decades of cold, objective data and warm, unquantifiable magic, he is the best. Not only the best right now, but the best of all time. Do you agree with our list? Of course you don't. And that's totally fine, even though you are completely wrong.